In the early morning hours, the dinner restaurants have closed. Visiting guests who sampled last night's Asian cuisine have all gone home. And the Chinatown International District's residents, business people, and employees prepare for a new day. With outsiders, this is an image that is often overlooked. But at daybreak, among more than 100 Asian restaurants and shops in the district, a unique Seattle neighborhood comes to life. One of several successful business people with deep roots in the district is 55-year-old Chinese-American Wei Ying.
I think the future business here in this international district is going to be very good because of all these new developments, and more people begin to move back into the national district to live and to work.
On weekday mornings, Wei arrives to open his herbal medicine shop, the Korea Ginseng Center. Although a restaurant owner and building developer, Wei begins each day in preparation to sell some 1,000 varieties of herbs, tonics, and animal parts as traditional Asian treatments.
And this we call gentle tonic, which we sell a great deal of this one because it has a vitamin that will help the people who are being weak or needs vitamin A, B, or C. And this is for people who had a lot of gas on the stomach. The ointments for people fall down, had a bruiser, and we had the powder for knife wound, bullet wound. This bear gallbladder, we sell for $100 for Chinese ounce. Now, this is the ginseng root. By eating ginseng at all time, and you will stay in good health. Ginseng, you have to take it constantly to make it work. You cannot just take one time or two or twice to become a Superman.
The Chinatown International District, where Wei conducts business, is a 44 square block area with a growing resident population of 1,583. Racially, the district is 54% Asian and 34% white, with the remainder, for the most part, divided between Black and Native American. Roughly one-half of the population is made up of young and middle-aged adults, and many work in the area.
Morning, Maddie.
Hi, Sue. Morning.
Sue Taoka is a young professional Japanese-American who has worked in the district for the past 6 years. As a community activist and planner, she begins her day in the offices of Interim, located in the refurbished Bush Asia Center. Interim is a neighborhood improvement agency which began in 1969 as a business development association and evolved into what one observer calls a survival association. The Interim staff works to provide basic services for those of low income.
The issues that we become involved in are primarily survival issues. They deal with making sure that people in the district have a place to live, primarily, can have food available to them and eat regularly, appropriate health care, and their other basic needs. Those are the issues that we look at.
I told them that we would like to have the same.
Nearly 1 out of 2 residents in the district are among the elderly who have found affordable housing and cultural companionship. Communication among ethnic groups, however, is sometimes a problem, since the majority of the diverse Asian population is not fluent in English. This handicap is overcome in multi-language apartment buildings by residents finding common grounds to express themselves.
Mostly broken English and sign language,
Leo Aliwanagl, a retired merchant seaman, wakes each morning in the International House Apartments, one of the district's several subsidized housing units. With ties to the district since 1935, The 83-year-old Filipino-American notes the recent growth and welcomes the many new faces.
Chinatown is well off, you know. We have lots of business here. Every once in a while there is a new restaurant or new coffee shop.
Diet tea.
Oh, diet tea. This is a special ginseng.
No, it's not ginseng.
It's just a diet tea.
By mid-morning, Wei Ying has left the Ginseng Center in the care of his wife Sandra, while he checks on the progress of his Far East building. The Far East is a retail space and market rate housing project. Wei and architect Bob Kovalenko began in 1978.
And I ran into many difficulties until the last couple of years. I got some help from the Department of Community and Development from the city of Seattle. And with my architect, Bob Kovalenko's help, we've been working for several years. We finally get this project started.
You wouldn't sit down and design a building like this from scratch if it didn't already exist. But because it was already here, you start working with the elements that are here. You start working within that framework. You start coming out with some things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. We also wanted it to fit into the international district. So color becomes an important thing. The detailing on the handrails, we used a Chinese basket weave. I
hope what I did will lighten up this corner here, and I hope in the future the people around here will continue to do what I did here to improve these districts.
You see buildings being rehabilitated for people to live in. You see commercial space being rented out that was closed formerly. You see buildings looking much better. You see a number of capital improvement dollars that the city has put into the international district. You really see a community that maybe 10 years ago with the Kingdom going in and I-5 going in looked like it could be on the brink of extinction. You look at the international district today and it is not on the brink of extinction. It is on a very strong road of recovery.
We have the potential of having one uniform sign code for the entire district, or...
The International Special Review District Board is a 7-member organization which oversees compliance with regulations on development. After a meeting to discuss a business's sign change request, Sue Taoka keeps a pre-lunch dental appointment with Dr. Henry Chin, who is located in the Evergreen building.
Hi, Sue.
Hello.
How are you?
Although 92% of the residents have earnings in the low-income category, more and more young professionals find the district an attractive place to establish a practice.
I had the opportunity to practice with an older Chinese dentist here in the ID district and realized, in fact, there was a need for bilingual speaking young dentists in this community. Within the last 4.5 years that I've been down here, I've seen a tremendous growth of other young professional people that have moved in.
Lying at the edge of the neighborhood, near the encroaching steel and concrete of downtown, is a small patch of cultivated land. In 1977, after months of a community-wide volunteer effort, 45 garden plots took shape along this terraced hillside. The purpose of the community garden was to supplement income and nutritional needs and to encourage physical exercise and social interaction among the elderly.
How about you, Francis? We come here, first of all, to enjoy the scenery, and most of all, when there is crop, then we harvest the crop and give one to another, you know. Those who do not have, then we give also to help them.
Using the intensive raised bed system, the half-acre garden produces an annual yield of 60,000 pounds of vegetables.
We feel that this garden has not only helped the idea in the sense that it brings a uniqueness to the international district, but that it has made the old-timer, the gardeners, feel much more useful. You know, they contribute their skill to the garden, and that they feel that they have helped build the garden itself.
Lunch hour in the district sees an influx of downtown office workers. Wei lends the chefs a hand in his Cao Cao restaurant. ability to attract outsiders to the area is deemed vital to business survival here.
It's essential because we got to have people from outside in order to support all the business here, especially the restaurant.
Leo Aliwanagl takes part in the Preservation and Development Authority's Congregate Meal Program. This program, operating on the lower level of the Bush Asia Center, provides noontime nourishment for a daily average of 144 low-income residents.
You know, Fifth Avenue is a real barrier, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real barrier.
Sue is often involved in working lunches with city officials in her role as a liaison between the community and City Hall.
It would probably be really good for you because we're talking about. One of the advantages the people in the International District have is that they've worked for a long time with the city, and people have a sense that they know what they need to have, and they know what they want, and they know the difference between the two and can negotiate that.
After the lunch rush, Wei visits North Coast importers in the Adams Friedman building to reorder restaurant food supplies.
Simple things like this abalone.
The Yamaguchis have been in the wholesale food business at their present location since 1945. Although it would be more profitable to relocate, Kei Yamaguchi considers more than the bottom line.
Actually, we could be in, say, in the Benaroya or someplace in South Seattle and have space for about 20, 30,000 square feet, and it would be much more economical. But our roots are here, and we prefer to be right in the international area.
Among the more distinctive businesses in the district is a Suchong Company, a Chinese noodle and fortune cookie factory on South King Street, begun in 1917. The company supplies 19 varieties of noodles to restaurants and grocery stores. Although machines have become an economic staple in noodle making, one popular product is still produced by hand. A bamboo roller is used to flatten out the whole egg wonton wrapper dough to a thickness equal to one sheet of bond paper. It is an art that technology has been unable to duplicate. Along with noodles, fortune cookies are also supplied to numerous eateries by the Suchong Company. The cookies which manage to miss the folding machine wind up as unfortunate flats and are sold at discount to the walk-in trade. During an afternoon visit to the community health center, Leo receives information on the status of his heart condition.
Alam mo ba, mayroon pa na magsakit ang dibdib ko, magtumar ko rin nitro.
Inumin mo lang basta every 15 minutes pwede. Halimbawa, minum ka na ngayon, tapos masakit pa
The community health center filled a health care void in 1975 by providing an outpatient clinic for Asian elderly with limited English-speaking ability.
Salamat po again.
Tingnan natin ito next month. Okay?
Next month, okay.
Many of the young children in the area are provided with public school preparation through the Denise Louis Child Care Center. The multilingual, multicultural center has an enrollment of about 30 young people between the ages of 2.5 and 6.
They're saying it's $100,000 to bring it to code and about $400,000 to really rehab it. So it's...
Taoka is assisting the child care facility in securing a permanent site within the community.
The daycare center is real important because what they've done is they filled this gap. It's showing that the ID isn't just a place for the elderly, and just isn't just a place where people come to eat, and isn't just a place where people come and buy food, but it's a place where people are growing up.
Now I put a needle, it didn't hurt.
Near the end of the workday, Wei visits the office of Dr. Ao for acupuncture relief of ankle pain. This 2,000-year-old Chinese medical art is successful in treating a number of conditions, including pain.
Acupuncture will stimulate your body to produce some kind of painkiller. They call endorphin. So actually some kind of like morphine action, but you don't have the side effect as the morphine.
The annual pig roast, held in the community garden, is an after-harvest celebration enjoyed by many of the district's elderly. The afternoon potluck, open to everyone, attracts between 100 and 200 people. The specialty food stores provide an array of fresh and fermented choices for Sue as she stops by the Uwajimaya market on her way home from the office. Shopping in the neighborhood caters predominantly to Far Eastern tastes, and the district itself lends a mark of authenticity to the goods and services offered. Shoppers are drawn from miles around to purchase items not easily found in the suburbs. In spite of his expansion to other areas of the county, Uwajimaya owner Tomio Moriguchi plans to remain in the district where he began.
Oh yes, we own the property where we are, and we're committed to stay here, yes. It's been very good for us, and I feel that many of us, although I live on Capitol Hill, I still probably feel my roots are in the International District.
The recent increase in investment and development in the community is intended to attract a more economically diverse group of residents.
As you restore a neighborhood, as in the ID here, and you make the buildings usable again, then we start getting a mix of people coming back. We get not only old people and poor people who have no choice, but you also get a lot of people who really do have choice.
After closing hours, Wei works on his books, recording the daily receipts from his various enterprises. Since opening the Cao Cao in 1959, his businesses have grown to include 19 employees and some occasional time off, though not tonight.
You can eat it raw, or you can eat it.
The district's restaurants offer several styles of Asian culinary skill. One of the more novel additions is the Mikado's Robatayaki bar. Robatayaki, meaning cooked by the fireside, is in the Nippon tradition of hors d'oeuvre dining. The Mikado is located in the old Japanese section of the district north on Jackson Street. Leo spends his evening playing paiku with friends. Paiku is a sophisticated form of blackjack using domino-like tiles. Paiku, mahjong, and hana are the games of risk preferred by Asian elderly as a social pastime.
The theater is a historical site, so it's a sentimental place for a lot of people. Both the theater group and the dance group have pulled all of their talent from the community.
In this evening's performances, Chinese, Japanese, and Filipino classical dance elements are presented in a series of modern interpretations. Incorporating the various Far Eastern influences in theater is an extension of the historical development of the community. Assimilating newly arriving immigrants has been a role of the International District for the past 125 years. Chinese laborers, domestics, and merchants were among Seattle's pioneers and were soon followed by the Japanese and Filipino. The district has had to cope with a history of disruptions and intrusions on community life dating to its origin. More recently, in the 1960s, the construction of Interstate 5 and the Kingdome created a physical and psychological barrier as they split the community from the rest of Seattle. Changes in housing codes forced the closure of many of the area's affordable shelters. In the 1980s, the Wami murders and the murders of the Filipino cannery workers generated a great deal of sensational media coverage. This served to promote outside anxiety regarding safety here and thus discouraged business, especially the evening trade.
I think there's been a real lack of coverage of this community in particular, except when you have situations where something of sensational nature occurs, like the cannery murders or the Wami murders. So there's a real absence of coverage of this neighborhood, and I think that without that type of regular coverage, what happens is those old images tend to kind of spring back into the forefront.
Presently, Southeast Asians constitute the majority of new immigrants to this area. Many of them seek the services of Asian counseling and referral, since adapting to Western urban life can be difficult.
Well, I would say that there really are two major problems that they faced initially, and that is learning the language, and secondly would be acquiring a marketable skill. That is especially true of refugees, more so there than immigrants. After that, I would say one embarks upon a lifelong struggle of acculturation, in which you have to learn how to, in a positive fashion, join together the native cultures as well as learning the American culture.
A nearly $2 million project to upgrade the appearance of the district was undertaken by the city of Seattle in the late 1970s. The project included decorative lighting, new sidewalks, trees, and street furniture. 2 new mini-parks were also constructed in the community, using forward thrust and block grant funds.
We've got dedicated staff who are working with the citizens there, and I think they feel that our work in cooperation with their efforts are what's bringing about the recovery, the revitalization of the International District.
Though the community still struggles with a lack of parking and an increase in transients, continued improvements have raised local spirits.
I think for the people who live down here are enjoying it more. They see that we were trying to build this community, not just for the low-income elderly residents who we're trying to maintain in this housing, but we're trying to draw more people, moderate income people, young people, professional people back into the community, and I think people are excited about it.
That you may find a family emblem on the back of a kimono.
The International District is a cultural and spiritual focal point for more than 70,000 Asians scattered throughout King County. Their support and common interest in the future direction of the district helps area residents preserve a rich heritage and an historical home. The district remains the center for Asian foods, goods, services, and social events. It has survived a turbulent past, and today, with a strong community commitment from business leaders, social organizers, and residents, the district seems destined to prosper.
There'll be more people live in the National District, and it also, that means more business will be conducted in the district too. So it will be improved from both ends.
This is almost my home, for 35 years. This area, I think, is one of the safest area in town. We are very peaceful here, If I have my way, I would like to stay here until the end.
The attraction of a broader economic mix of people and the increase in housing and business investments are creating a more livable atmosphere. And although well known for its ethnic cuisine and nightlife, viewed in the light of day, the Chinatown International District is emerging as one of Seattle's most unique and valued neighborhoods.
Being able to know the people who live here has enriched my life, and I just don't see, regardless of where I am, actually being very far from the district, because by being here, it just kind of winds up in your heart.